Hello viewers and welcome back to another episode of This Month in Science. My name is Nicholas.
And I'm Ryan. This month, we're bringing you some local, national, and international stories featuring scientific discoveries and innovations.
We'll kick off the show in South Korea, where material scientists at the Pohang University of Science and Technology have uncovered a more efficient way to artificially mimic the synapses of the human brain. The secret to the brain's enormous processing power is the number of connections. An estimated 1 quadrillion connections wire together approximately 100 billion neurons and fire at a rate of 10 times per second. Add to this the fact that the brain only puts out about 20 watts of power, and you've got a force of nature that is both extremely powerful and efficient. Suffice it to say, reconstructing a mechanism of this magnitude with machines is nigh impossible. Tae-Woo Lee, however, has taken us one step closer. He and a team of researchers have invented a type of electronic switch that mimics a synapse, except it only uses up to 1.23 femtojoules of energy for every firing event, compared to the brain's 10 femtojoules per fire. For a comparison, an apple falling 3 feet down generates about a quadrillion femtojoules. Lee was able to fabricate 144 of these transistors on a 4-inch disc, securing them with wires that are only 200 to 300 nanometers wide. This structure imitates human nerve fibers, and the researchers' next step is to further shrink its size and energy consumption. This invention could lead to smarter robots, better data mining, and other such human interaction-based systems.
Most scientists like Tae-Woo Lee are making waves here on Earth. Others, meanwhile, are studying chemistry, physics, and even biology in outer space. A team taking part in the Prebiotic Interstellar Molecular Survey using the National Science Foundation's Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia have discovered chiral molecules in space. A chiral molecule has 2 different mirror image versions of itself, showing a right-handed version and a left-handed version. These organic molecules are essential for biological functions, but until now, none have been found in interstellar space. Brett McGuire and Brandon Carroll, the lead authors of the study, discovered propylene oxide in a cloud of dust and gas known as Sagittarius B2 in the center of our galaxy. It is one of the most structurally complex and intricate molecules ever found in space, and will be instrumental in determining how compounds like it are formed before they occur on meteorites, where they are often found. Additionally, they will help scientists understand the origins of chirality in biology here on Earth.
I always hear that finding life in space is seeming less and less improbable.
You never know what we'll find out there.
Hopefully nothing unfriendly. Well, next, let's see what our neighbors here at UAB have been working on. Perhaps you've heard about people getting the munchies after smoking marijuana. The reason for this is that the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana is cannabidiol. This substance fills up cannabinoid receptors in the brain, muffling messages that tell us we're satiated. The result is a strong feeling of hunger. An Australian study recently showed promising results for 2 compounds that work with natural cannabidiol receptors in the body to reduce body weight. And Aaron Landis at UAB is working over the summer to research the abilities of one of these compounds to reduce the weight of overweight mice. Landis is a rising junior working at the lab of Dr. Robert Sorge, who received a financial award through the UAB President's Summer Research Scholarship Program, one of 10 students to receive it. Through 12 weeks of research, Landis will work to uncover any and all significant events of the CB2 molecule from the Australia study on mice, which are fed a synthesized version of the standard American diet. The results may lead to clinical studies, which could help Americans become less prone to diabetes and cardiovascular disease.
Stinky or fragrant? What is it that makes you decide? Well, a study from the Riken Brain Science Institute in Japan reveals the mechanism that causes our noses to favor some smells over others. This extends beyond human definitions of fragrance in our modern world. Countless animal species depend on smell for survival. One smell might be deadly, but another could be life-saving. Hokuto Kazama and his team used the olfaction of fruit flies, which is much simpler than in humans, to study how the activity of nerve clusters called glomeruli differentiate smells to the brain. Kazama noticed in his study 2 main things. For one, while each individual glomerulus contributes to smelling, all of them are needed when smelling something. For another thing, odor preferences can vary or switch depending on what other odors are in the environment. This study will hopefully provide a better understanding of the mechanisms of olfactory processing in humans as well, not just fruit flies.
Smell can be a very important and powerful thing. It's no wonder why police forces use stink bombs.
And why we add the scent of rotten eggs to natural gas so we can detect leaks.
It's definitely something not everyone thinks about. Well, coming up, we have a study showing that seemingly simple-minded fish can distinguish between human faces. Kate Newport, a Marie Curie research fellow and zoologist at the University of Oxford, has studied the neocortices of animals and now is looking at tropical fish, which in fact have no neocortex. This is a part of the brain that influences visual processing and likely facial recognition. Amazingly, Newport trained archer fish, which are known for shooting insects out of the air with jets of water, to select certain images of human faces by spitting water at them. She accomplishes this through the art of positive reinforcement, rewarding the fish for spitting at the correct target. Once the fish were trained, they selected the right image 81% of the time, even when she standardized some of the more unique facial features to make it harder. What this indicates is that it doesn't take a highly intelligent brain to recognize human faces. The fish don't take recognition to quite the level that humans do, but it is a significant discovery nonetheless.
For our final story of the month, we're winding things back down here at UAB. Dr. Stephen Ostad, professor and chair of the UAB Department of Biology, and Dr. Kathleen Fisher, research assistant professor in the biology department, are finding out answers to the age-old question, why do women live longer than men? Humans are the only species in which this always occurs, no matter the environment. There is strong evidence for this fact, and it is likely one of the most robust features in all of human biology. It defies any logic we have on the subject, since women on average are in poorer health than men throughout their lives. The answer probably lies in hormones, and one explanation could stem from the fact that prevalences for bone and joint diseases occur more often in females than in males. Female sex hormones are released by the body when afflicted by these problems in both men and women, showing that there are likely many unknown beneficial effects from them that could be related to life expectancy.
Hopefully a lot of work goes into those kinds of studies before doctors start injecting elderly patients with estrogen.
I'm sure we'll be hearing more about Dr. Ostad and Dr. Fisher's research as time goes on.
No doubt. Well, that's all the time we have for this month's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I'm Nicholas.
And I'm Ryan. We'll see you next time on This Month in Science.